Thank you for tuning in to TalkWad.com, the world's fastest growing internet radio network. Please check out all the other great shows on www.talkwad.com.
It's Thursday night. Rock Slam Radio. The Surge with your hosts, Terry Tull, Tim Cronin, coming to you live over the internet airways. It's the best show you can actually watch and listen to on internet radio. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight, so stick around. Don't go away. Whatever you do, grab a drink, grab a pizza. I don't care what you get. Just have fun. Sit back and relax. We're gonna have a blast right here. The Surge.
Surge blew in, wondering where it would go next. When it reached Madeira Beach, way down in John's Pass, under the boardwalk is where it hit next. People were running for their lives, trying to get out of this path. When that storm surge blows into your town, you better stage, there was a sound like no one had heard. 'Cause the wind and rain were howling that night like a giant tornado on alert. When everyone heard that music play, all the folks came from miles around to hear that storm surge band playing their songs under the boardwalk is where they'll be found. Storm is raging with hurricane winds, getting ready to knock on your door. When that storm surge blows into your town, you better get out of its path.
All right, here we go. It's that time. Here come the boys now. Get ready to do their thing right here at Rock Slam Radio and the Surge Radio Show. Here's Terry Tull and Tim Cronin.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Surge. My name is Tim Cronin. Terry Tull can't be with us today. He's handling some personal business. Instead, I've got my lovely wife, Miss Star, with me. Say hello, everybody.
Hey!
There you go. This is the Surge. Be sure if you have any questions for us or our special guests, the Bearded Brothers, to call in at 727-597-4022 or check us out on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/thesurge2. Be sure it's not just The Surge. It's The Surge 2. Got to mention one thing real quick. If anyone was trying to check us out last week for a show, we actually weren't broadcasting. Terry once again had some personal business to attend to, and I was actually playing a gig, so we had to just sort of call it a wash and say, whatever, better luck next week. So anyway, real quick, let's go ahead and introduce our special guest. We have with us the two core members of the Bearded Brothers. To my right, Mr. Thomas G.
Hello.
And to my left, Mr. Ryan Embry.
How y'all doing?
We're going to talk to them a little bit later. I got a couple bits of news to mention first, though. For starters, this is my second show and the actual third show we broadcast, and I'm glad to see that there's been so much support so far. And I got to give props to everyone who's made that possible, including Nolan himself and Charlene and Rock and Risa from the old show Where's the Party. Now they're going to be doing their own show again sometime in, I believe, early March. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's early March. And that's going to be a new format. They're going to have a big studio. But look out for that. The Where's the Party Girls will be back and rocking very, very soon. Also want to give props to all the other shows that are on Rock Slam Radio, but specifically a couple of shows. The Rocket Man Show, who actually they had these guys were on the Rocket Man Show before this show. And That was a pretty fun experience for you guys, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was awesome.
That
Roger
was-
did a good job. I like Roger.
Roger's cool. Roger's a cool guy. Matter of fact, he was one of the first guys to have a Rock Slam show. And we were on like, when I was still with Circle Sky, we were on like the second or third show ever or something like that.
Yeah, it was like one of the really early ones.
Yeah, when they were still sort of getting their sea legs. And then gotta give props to the T-Bones Rock Show. I hope Terry and Jim are listening. Those guys are really, really cool. They've had me on too. They have so many great bands on. They just keep getting cool people week after week after week. And I also have to give a shout out to another new show called Guitars, Bars, and Local Stars. They just started out. They're on Monday afternoons at 2:30, I believe. And the hosts are Mark Skay and Lee Pons. Lee Pons I actually used to play with in a band. The very first band I ever played with when I moved down here. Johnny Widebars and the Shovelheads. He was the keyboardist for them. I was the lead guitarist. He's now co-hosting that show and doing a great job at it. So props to everyone at Rock Slam Radio. Another little bit of news I want to mention. The very first show that we did, I talked a little bit about Hard Rock Rising. Now, the Hard Rock Rising contest went ahead through, and they've got all their Tampa people now currently in the running, and they're actually going to have another show tonight. Tim, have the guy to your right talk louder in the mic, by the way, is what Terry Tull's telling me.
Okay.
So get right on that thing.
All right.
Get
I'm
all
here.
up in there, Tommy. Come on now.
All right, then.
But anyway, so I was talking about Hard Rock Rising, and like I said, they've got their basically what they're doing is they're doing a bunch of round 2 competitions right now. They had one last week. They're having one tonight. Matter of fact, in like 20 minutes or so, they're going to start one with Malaya, Fight Another Day, and Hang 'Em High. I mentioned 3 bands that were in the running when the first preliminary votes were coming in, and I wanted to just congratulate 2 of the 3 bands. I'm very sorry, but your cousin's band didn't make the run. Look right, Penny. They didn't make the cut for the second round, but 2 other bands did. Hope Darling and Gary Shutt. Now, Gary Shutt had to bow out for several reasons. One of which was something along the lines of that they were going to have to cancel something for Bike Week. I forget exactly what it was. I'll post up the news link though. Gary actually explained in great detail why he had to bow out. So the link is now on the Surge's Facebook page, so check that out. But Hope Darling is in the running for round 2. Matter of fact, they're going to be doing it March 7th, next week. They're going to be in the running with 2 other bands. The other 2 bands are called Alma Vertical and The Best Day Ever, both local heroes in many circles. But that's at the Hard Rock Cafe Tampa. Check that out. If you're not listening to this show, then I hope you're over there. That's all I'm going to say. So anyway, let's go ahead and start talking with the Bearded Brothers. Like I said, we got Thomas G to my right, Ryan Embry to the left. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
What's
How you
going
been?
on?
I know we've been we were working a little bit earlier, but we can talk about that later. I first want to ask you guys, how did this come about? Like, how did the Bearded Brothers actually form? How did this start?
We were at an open jam at Mac Daddy's, and I was doing an acoustic thing, and Ryan was just hanging out with one of his friends, I think, and just kind of tapped me on the shoulder, was like, "Hey man, can I play drums with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." So we started playing. Immediately, kind of felt the vibe. Towards the end of the night, I was getting ready to leave, and he came up to me and we started talking. And I was like, "Hey," he was like, "Hey man, you ever want to put anything together? Give me a call." About a month later, I posted on Facebook I was interested in putting a band together, and he was the first person to message me. And
Not to be confused, I am not a drummer.
no. Does not play drums.
He plays drums. He's just not a drummer.
No, he originally was going to play bass. And he started playing bass. We had a 4-piece with some guys in Tampa, and didn't work out with them.
Decided to go acoustic.
Decided to go to the acoustic thing.
And you were doing the duo for a while
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Started doing the acoustic thing, and started getting an itch to play, with a larger band, I guess you'd say. And he went back and started playing bass on a couple of gigs, and got a drummer, Billy Eisner.
Who's not here tonight because he's actually handling his business over at Bourbon Street tonight, where you guys are headed after the show.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. But anyway, so you got Billy on board.
Got Billy on board.
Now, when was that?
Oh, man.
A few months ago, something like that?
Couple
Yeah.
months. Yeah, it's
It's been a
couple
few
months
months.
ago. Yeah. We were doing, I think it was Seaside the first time we played, the three of us.
Oh, okay.
We still booked the duo, and he's got his commitment with protocol. So, but we
Right,
try to book as much as possible and play out. And now we got a different bass player
Oh, do you now?
who's actually coming to Texas with us. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that is a whole other story. Well, let's get into that. The Bearded Brothers are actually going to be playing the South by Southwest Festival, and if you don't know what that is, I'll go ahead and put up the link on the Surges on the Surges page. It's very simple. That's xxw.com. There it is, and I will post it. South by Southwest is a huge music and art festival in Austin, Texas. They do it every year right around this time. It's a week long. They basically just take over Austin, Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's amazing. Now, my wife's actually been to a couple of them. Now, why don't you tell me a little about that, how those were?
I was only there. The first one, I was only there for like a day and I went in, went out, and done. And the second time I went, I mean, it's so crazy to see so many people, so many different types of bands, so much different music. And then, plus they've got, besides the music festival, they've got a film festival that happens, and they've got like industry, shows and stuff going on besides all of the music and film. And Austin is itself really, a very artsy community. So it's just a really cool, thing. And there's like, the cool thing to me was just seeing so many different bands from all over the country that come in and just do their thing. And, it was a good thing to see, besides being able to just hear the bands. It was, nice to get exposed to some different bands that you wouldn't normally get exposed to because they're just, local bands from whatever their hometown is.
Right.
So, you get introduced to some other cool, places and
they come from all
people
over the country,
oh,
right?
Yeah. And I think this year they actually even have some people
Are
from
they going
the UK,
international?
and they've got some. I want to say that I saw some bands from the UK and from Brussels and from some other places this year too.
Nice.
So yeah.
you've been checking out the lineup.
Yeah.
Well, because you're gonna be tagging along with us. And
I am.
Yeah, and you
I
wanna
am.
check out a few shows. Billy was telling me that who was it? Ian McClagan, one of the keyboardists for the Stones, I think. Yeah. He's gonna be playing a show on Thursday, so Billy and I are gonna go check that out. But anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Let's talk about South by Southwest and the Bearded Brothers' involvement in it. Now, first of all, how did it come about?
Well, we were working on some songs in the studio, and the producer Lance Quinn,
Who I heard is pretty like he's got a long rep sheet of like amazing stuff.
Yes, and he took a liking to the songs, and he produced one of them, and he sent it out to a friend of his who lives in Texas, who has a lot of involvement with South by Southwest, and she loved it, and she was like, we'd love to have these guys come out, and contacted Steve and contacted myself and got back to him, and they just kind of put it into motion, and we were told, hey, put a band together, you're going to Texas.
There you go.
And that's it. We got myself and Ryan. We got Billy Eisner on the drums. We got you, Mr. Tim Cronin, on bass.
Guilty as charged. Yes, I'm gonna actually be playing with these guys in Austin, Texas, so that'll be really, really cool.
Yeah, buddy.
Just a caveat, by the way, I didn't bring these guys on knowing that was going to happen. I actually invited these guys onto the show, like, what was it, 3 weeks ago after we did our first show.
A couple of weeks ago, yes.
I invited these guys on the first show, and I knew that I think by then I knew that you guys were going to Texas, or maybe was it in the works by then?
Yes, it was in the works.
It was in the works by then. It wasn't 100% solid though.
Right.
So it was like in the works. So that I knew that there was like a hint of maybe they'd be going to South by Southwest. And at that point, I wasn't even involved. They had a different bassist at the time. And then just this past Sunday, was it this past? No, it wasn't this past Sunday. It was the Sunday before. You got a call saying your bassist can't do it. Hey, Tim, why don't you come play?
Yeah, Ryan hadn't even hung up the phone yet.
Yeah.
Ryan was still on the phone with him.
Tom, go talk to Tim now.
Hey, Tim, want to go to Texas? Yeah.
And then, of course, once that happened, then, me and my girls, Billy's girlfriend, Hillary, and Tommy's girlfriend, Amber, were like, oh, we're going to Texas.
Yeah. They're already planning it and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little warm in here, so I'm taking that damn jacket off.
It is warm.
So, okay, so the South by Southwest. So now we're playing, what is it? Saturday the 16th,
Saturday.
right? Now, how is this all actually going down? We've got the ins with a different band or something like that, right?
Where the woman Kelly who contacted us, she is also a booking agent in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
She's got a couple of bands that she works with, and one of the bands she also rents a house to.
Mm-hmm.
So we're staying with that band for our trip to Texas, and they play on Saturday as well. Now they are not in there as far as South by Southwest goes. There's the different genres: country, rock.
Yeah,
rock.
they do a little of everything.
I believe they're alternative rock,
Okay.
but I'm not 100% sure on that. But we're in the country. They're rock.
Right. Are we opening for them? Is that how that's working? Or are we just
I honestly, as far as details go, we
Everything to this point is still to be announced.
Gotcha.
we have no idea.
So there's a big TBA on everything right now, but
yes. As far as all we know is we are going to Texas and we leave
Monday.
Monday, the 11th.
which will be, speaking of which, I want to get into, because you guys have pretty busy couple of weeks before that coming up.
Yeah,
Now, what are you guys doing this weekend? Friday, Saturday?
This coming weekend, we have nothing going on.
Oh, that'll be a nice little break.
Much needed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then the week after that, you guys are insane busy.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
We have obviously some rehearsals for Texas. Apparently, after with the phone call we got on the way here, we have some studio work we need to do.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. They're going to try and get you back in the studio. Which studio you using?
Sweet Spot Studios in St. Petersburg.
Oh, okay. Okay, very cool.
And Friday we play Seaside.
Shout out
Friday,
to Jim. Jim, you're awesome, bro.
And Worlds Divide. Saw that show.
Oh, yeah. So you've got Seaside in Friday night.
Friday, and then Saturday we got a real busy day. We played from 4 to 8. We played S&J's Pub on Rowan Road for their 2-year anniversary.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big party. A lot of people are already invited, already said they're going, so you don't want to miss that.
That's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
And then that night we actually are going to Tampa, St. Pete. I believe we have a show at American Rhythm and Brews.
So you guys got to haul ass once you're done with the show.
Yeah, we got an hour to break down and be in St. Pete
And
Whoa.
and set up. But we got this.
we got this.
I might have to help you out a little bit.
They're so calm about it. They're like, it's okay. We got it under control.
I mean,
no
we're
worries.
musicians.
We're
gonna be late.
What was it?
Well,
there was a guy. I
fair
can't
enough.
remember what band he was playing in. He was one of the bands that played at Bourbon Street. I think it was New Year's. It was Gary Shutt's bass player that played with us. And
Okay, yeah.
He's
a cool guy.
Oh, he was cool. And he
Another
said
lefty,
the 13th
too.
The 13th Amendment, thou will never panic.
Yeah.
Or the 13th Commandment, something like that. He was like, thou shalt never panic.
I like that.
And it couldn't be true. I mean,
Oh yeah, it is. It's very true, because once you start panic, that's when stuff starts going wrong.
that's when you get pulled over for speeding. That's when you start breaking stuff. So
Oh yeah, forget
we
it.
got to be in St. Pete. We will be in St. Pete.
So you got the double shot Saturday. You got S&J's, and you got a place down in St. Pete, and then what? And then Sunday.
And
Let's talk about Sunday.
Sunday, Bourbon Street of Newport Richey. They're throwing a Send the Boys to Texas fundraiser for us to try and help us raise a couple of bucks to help us get out to Texas. And I cannot thank Natalie and Steve more.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for what they've done for us, for, the fact that they're even considered doing that for us.
Those guys have been such big supporters of
and
you.
everything that they've done for us. I mean, between helping us with studio stuff, I can't praise them enough. I love you guys.
I hope you're listening. Well, that's very cool. And then Monday, bam, we're on the road.
Monday, we're on the road.
That's it, man.
Hopefully we'll get a little break Monday during the day. I heard that we're leaving towards Monday night-ish.
Monday night-ish. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to try and stay awake. I do better sleeping in cars.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yep.
Now, the whole purpose of leaving Monday is so we can actually network a bit once we get there, because the festival actually starts on Tuesday the 12th.
Right. And I'm going to miss the gaming expo. I'm a little upset about it.
Oh no!
Oh, man.
But
I am.
but March 12th, yeah, like I said, it starts. Now, do we have any kind of game plan as to what we're going to do for networking, or is it just sort of let's see what we can see?
It's kind of like, hey, let's throw our guitars on our back and walk up and down the streets and
Cool.
talk to people and play.
I'm bringing
Talk to
business
people.
cards.
Yeah, buddy.
Business cards. The whole reason for the studio work next week is we're hustling to try and get an EP that we can at least hand out and be like, hey, this is us, give us a listen, let us know.
It does always help to have some kind of finished product. I mean,
Yep.
I can see where they're coming from, like wanting to get you guys into the studio, but man, it's a cram fest to try and get in there.
Oh, yes.
Don't worry about the crackling. Yes, the mics are going to pick it up. Oh well.
It's a cough drop.
We've all been a little bit on the sick side this week.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can show that label.
I don't think anyone cares. I honestly don't think anyone cares.
Musician's best friend.
Just a reminder, guys, this is The Surge. If you got any questions for the Bearded Brothers, don't be afraid to call in. 727-597-4022 is the number. Check us out on the Facebook page, facebook.com/TheSurge2.
And we'll answer almost any question.
Almost any question.
Yes.
There are specific ones. Ryan, I got a question for you. Now, obviously, we covered your initial involvement, but you've got a pretty rich family history of music. Tell us a little about that, because your cousin's in a band, your dad and uncles are in a band.
Right.
You guys have got so much going on. And tell us a little about growing up in that sort of environment.
My family started a band in 1989, the year I was born, Wiley Fox.
Yeah.
They went for 21 years. They went for 21
And they went.
years.
And they played for 20.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to stay together as a national or an international act, much less a local act for that
Right.
long.
Yeah.
And being brothers.
Yeah.
I've learned everything I know from my family. Got to play with them a few times, which was really cool. Then, what was it? 2008, 2009, we started Look Right Penny. I played bass with them for about a year. And I had my daughter, so I figured it was time to step back from bands. That's pretty much it. That was another great experience, though, playing with them.
Oh,
lot of
must have been.
shows.
Must have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
And look right, Penny. They're coming along very nicely. They just released a new single.
Yeah.
They've got. We got a call. Caller, you're on. What's up?
Tim, it's Terry, buddy. What's up?
Hey, I knew you'd call in eventually. Yeah, I knew you just couldn't stay away. How's it going, man?
Really good. Hey, first of all, man, your beard is coming along quite nicely. I can
have
actually
to,
see
man.
it.
Yeah. I'm not really too happy about it, I gotta say, but it is what it is.
Not yet. It'll grow on.
When
her
it gets,
eventually.
it'll start getting fluffy, and then you'll be all right with it.
Hey, listen, I'm kind of curious about something.
Sure.
I wanted to ask you guys. It's like I know this thing that Texas kind of came about. Really, really cool. But question is how long are you going to be there now? You're leaving on Monday, and you're going to be
I think it's the full week,
The
right?
festival, yeah. The woman that asked us to come actually wanted us there as soon as possible for the festival. So, like, day it starts to the day it ends, because she's got some plans. She wants us to meet certain people. So, I mean, I wish I had more details as to what was going on, but we're pretty much flying by the seat of our pants as far as what's going to actually happen when we get there. I mean,
right. So, Tom, I'm just curious. Do you know if you're going to get to play more than once?
we're hoping for it.
That is in the talks right now, yeah.
That is in the TBA section of that whole thing. They're trying to pull us some gigs, and it might not be in San Antonio, but there's a bar, I think, not in Austin, but in San Antonio, actually, there's a bar that Kelly books a lot of bands at, and she was talking to them, and they're actually interested in possibly having us come out and do a full night. That's in the works. I mean, there's so much going on. I mean,
You don't know what bar that is by any chance, do you?
no, I don't.
No, I mean, like I said, they take over Austin, Texas. Like every bar imaginable is taken over by them,
and even
they have
some
stages
restaurants.
outside, restaurants, everything. It's
And
just
we will
all
keep everyone
encompassing.
posted on
Oh,
our
yeah,
Facebook
yeah.
page.
And you can see.
I actually stayed out in Texas, back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of places to play out in Texas, especially in the San Antonio area.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
they're just everywhere.
Texas
up and
is
down
another
the
state that's
main street. In fact, some of the condominiums and that type of thing have their own bars.
Yeah.
Some of the hotels have a lot of the hotels have their own bars.
Oh, of course, yeah.
The apartment complexes also have their own bars and restaurants.
Oh wow.
It's insane. I lived in an apartment complex, and it was my guys and I played there every weekend for a solid year.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
So clearly Texas is not a state that's hurting for live music. That's always good to know.
No,
No.
he's right. There's a lot going on out there, and especially like I was saying, especially in San Antonio and Austin, where you've got a strong art community that supports all different kinds of art, music, and writing and all that kind of stuff. It's a strong community out there for that stuff. So.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an absolute blast.
Yeah. I can't wait.
I think we're all just chomping at the bit to get there already.
I just want to know what's going on.
Well, that too.
Well, at this point, even if we played one time, the experience is just going to be incredible.
Oh yeah.
To be able to go there and play and to get to view everything, it's just going to be.
It's one of those things that looks really, really good on any musician's resume to say that they've played South by Southwest.
Yeah.
I don't want.
Oh yeah. Not only that, though, the contacts that you guys are going to get are going to be insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll have people approaching you big time, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
I was
for sure.
joking about that with my father. I'm like, I tell you what, I could sit on a street corner and play my guitar and be happy the fact that I was just remotely involved in South by Southwest at that point. But to have the opportunity to be asked to play is awesome.
Terry, I'm going to totally call you out right now. I heard a Words with Friends noise in the background. Are you playing?
Actually, Nancy's playing Words with Friends while we're listening to and watching the show here.
I thought so. Did you get everything taken care of?
It's a game, where you keep your mind going. I mean, for crying out loud, at 62 years old, I got to keep my mind doing something,
Got to keep it sharp. You
Absolutely.
Did you get everything taken care of that you needed to today?
No, that's going to be a long,
process. Oh dear.
Unfortunately.
I hope it all works out for you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, well, at least it's in the starting phases now. We'll be back teamed up for next week, right, Tara?
Oh yeah.
Cool. Very, very cool. Very cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Don't know who we're going to have on the show yet. Do you have any ideas?
No, I think it'll be a little bit of a surprise. Or maybe it'll just be us blabbing. I don't know.
I don't know. Either that, maybe we'll get our wives on.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Sounds like they're both just thrilled by that.
Girl.
She fits right in.
Actually, she is doing very good. She's helping out a lot. I appreciate her come out and doing this for me. I was lucky because she actually had she actually was able to get off of work early today. Otherwise,
normally I'm working until 8 o'clock. So
which
normally
is right when we start. So.
He's out of luck, but tonight I got off a little early just by chance, and so I mentioned that this morning before he came out, and then he's like, "Oh, hey, really? You're gonna be off? Then come and do the show with me." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." All right.
I mean to pull your leg.
Oh, there's nothing to it, a blind monkey could do this,
I don't
You
know.
hear that? He's calling you a blind monkey.
Did the guys bring their guitars? Are they going to do something in the studio
Yep,
there?
Ryan's got a guitar with him. Well, in fact, why don't we go ahead and set him up, and we'll start that right now.
Yeah.
Well, cool beans. I'll get off the phone and let you guys do your thing.
Cool.
Great show so far, guys. I'm really impressed.
Thanks a lot, Tara, and I'll see you
All
next
right.
week.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this guitar set up. Now, what do you guys want to actually sing? Do you want to do one of the originals, one of the ones that we're going to do at South by Southwest?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah? Ryan's got to set himself up just so. I'm not sure if that microphone's working, but if it isn't, then whatever, no worries. Sounds like we got something on it. Sounds good to me. All right, let's make some music, guys.
Oh, that's really awkward.
Ooh, that sounded good.
Yeah, adds character. Ah, yes, I like that song.
Go for it.
Well, I was on my way home from a weekend at the beach. I'm stuck on I-4, but thanks to my Jeep, got 2 flat tires and only one spare. Now it starts to rain and come on, this ain't fair. That's the story of my life I've known all too well. It may not be heaven, it sure be it's hell. Well, I've been working all week for the man on the ropes. I'm getting whipped like a dog with nowhere to go. I'm giving all I've got but minimum wage. For farmers staying lines of bills I can't pay. But when life gets me down, I say to myself, it may not be heaven, it sure be it's hell. You know it sure be it's hell. That's where you can go when you wanna give up and go on no more. Life gets hard and you know that it's true. You gotta take a deep breath as you push on through. You can learn a lot from the stories I tell. I may not be heaven, it sure be it's hell. Well, I bought a little ring and I gave it some thought, but she just gave it back and tore out my heart. I opened my eyes and what did I see? But my next ex thing sitting next to me. Took another shot of whiskey, said, oh well, she may not be heaven, she sure me tell. You know it sure be tell. That's where you go when you wanna give up, go on no more. Life gets hard and you know that it's true. You gotta take a deep breath as you push on through. You can learn a lot from the stories I tell. I may not be heaven, it sure be it's hell. Get it, get it. Show me tell. That's where you can go when you wanna give up and go on no more. Life gets hard and you know that it's true. You gotta take a deep breath as you push on through. You can learn a lot from the stories I tell. I may not be heaven, it sure be tell. Yeah, I may not be heaven, but it sure be tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Bearded Brothers with their original song, Sure Beats Hell.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. Now, that was basically based on a true story you were telling me earlier today.
Yep, 3 times in life where, I'll try to make it a long story short.
Nah, make it as long as you want. We've got like 25 minutes.
All right. I had just recently broken up with my ex-fiance. Try to behave there. Anyway.
You're doing good.
We had just recently broken up, and I was just kind of out, just typical, just out at a bar, hanging out with my friends, having a couple drinks. And as cliche as it is, this happened. There was an old gentleman there that was there with his wife, female friend, and they were talking, and he kind of just seen me sitting there. I wasn't by myself, but my buddies were out, were over doing their thing. I was just kind of sitting at the bar talking to my buddy who was a bartender, and he overheard us talking, kind of looks at me and goes, "How you doing, man? You doing all right?" So over here in our conversation, he kind of put his 2 cents in, and the short of his story was he was like, how no matter how bad life gets, you got to keep your head up. It can always get worse, and so no matter how bad it is, it's not horrible, So I kind of listened to him, and I'm like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. And I left, and on the way home, I just he was like, it may not be heaven, but it sure beats hell. So. Anything's better than hell. So
and you had what I call a Dewey Cox moment.
Pretty much. Exactly. Walk hard.
Exactly.
But I just took 3 situations in life that where I found myself looking up, going, seriously, this sucks pretty good. Can it get any worse? And then fearing that it would get worse, you just kind of like, all right, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But then that song came out of it.
That's the cool thing about country music is it's one of those stereotypical things, but country music is definitely a storytelling genre.
Oh yeah, and
I
try not
born out of the folk music tradition, of course.
Exactly. I try to base that's the hardest thing about writing. For me is just I try to base everything on something that's happened to me. I try not that like guys write fiction, but I mean, you know, I try not to, you know, I try to keep it, you know, on a personal level to where, you know, if it happened to me, I think it happened to somebody else. They can relate to it, and I don't know. I overthink when I'm writing a song. I'd probably be able to write 100 of them, but like I said, I try to keep them related to me. I try to keep it true to myself. You know, I try not to write about anything that hasn't happened or I haven't seen or I haven't experienced.
Well, in my experience, the best songwriters have always been the ones that are very true to themselves. So, I mean, you've got that going for you very easily so far.
So I have a question.
Go for it.
And it's really, you know, I know kind of, don't be scared. It's okay. You know, we know kind of his history and how he got into music and all that stuff. Tell us a little bit about how you got into music, because it seems to me like, you know, I've been hanging out, you know, at the Boulevard for forever, and it seems to me like one day you were just, you know, Sam's kid that was coming in and playing like 2 songs at jam night, and then all of a sudden you had this like band that was blowing up. So tell us a little bit about how that happened.
It's freaky because I was going to ask something along those lines too.
That's why you guys are married.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
I don't know. I've always loved music. I always tried to play the guitar as a kid, and I never could. In school, I played the saxophone for a long time. Actually, was pretty good. I don't want to, you know, pat myself on the shoulder.
You
But
don't toot your own horn.
I was trying to stay away from that pun, but I guess, you know, you're in a room full of these guys.
That's what Ryan's for.
Exactly.
Ew.
I don't go anywhere without him.
He's the pun monster.
Anyway.
That's punny.
Oh, God.
Ow. This is why I bring you along.
You've got to be kidding me.
I always loved music. I love country music from an early age. My mom was a big Garth Brooks fan, and I remember the first...
Okay, I was wondering where that came from because I know your dad. Your dad's he's actually a pretty good guitarist himself, and he's a big classic rock guy.
Big classic, Allman Brothers, you know.
So I thought for
fan.
sure that would have been your path, but you went the country route, and it's because of your mom then.
I love storytelling country, and it just, to me, I mean, not like, I love all country genre. I love all guys that play country. I love, you know, George Strait, all the Mo Boys. But it was just the Garth Brooks. I remember it was a tape. In the old minivan, it was a tape. And it was the 2-sided. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it had all those. It was like the greatest hits. And I knew every word.
Had like 40 tapes.
Yeah.
Greatest hits.
Regardless, it was just one tape. It's going to be like that, man. And I knew it word for word, you know, both sides, one cover to the other cover. And I loved it. I love country music.
Gotta give Kyle a little bit of credit.
Gotta give Kyle a little bit of credit. My buddy Kyle, who is, don't want to offend anybody, but if there is a typical Florida cracker, he's it.
Okay.
And you know, listening to all the Allman Brothers, you know, blues and country and blues just coincide together, and I always loved it, and moved to Florida when I was younger, and was bored, needed to do something to help occupy my free time, and picked up the guitar and said, I'm going to learn how to play this thing one way or another. Started with tabs and taught myself some chords, and finally worked up the courage one day to get up at the Boulevard and play a couple songs, and it's been downhill. Downhill since.
Downhill.
I will say that I owe a lot to my parents for not kicking my door down at 3 o'clock in the morning, because that's when I did most of my practicing. When I thought nobody could hear and I was by myself, wasn't the case.
Well, there's no way your dad would have done that anyway, him being the guitar enthusiast
there were
he
a
is.
couple times he banged on the door.
Really?
It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Just like the rain.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Can you pick the thing up when the sun comes up? I'm like, but I wanted to play. You put the thing down. And now he's kicking himself, because if he wouldn't have stopped me all those times, he says, I don't know where he'd be today.
That sounds like your dad, all right.
Oh, yeah. I love that band.
He's a great guy, and he's been well, of course he's been supportive. He's your damn dad, but I mean he's been supportive of like my endeavors too. Yeah. He's supportive of the music scene in general, but you know the guys, because I was a Boulevard regular too. You know, I was running the jam from like 2008 to 2010, 11, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And so I mean he was always supportive. He was always a really good guy, and I know he's pleased as punch, if I can use that phrase, that I'm playing bass with you guys.
Oh, yes.
He's very happy about that. In fact, he was like
I heard all about
overzealous
it.
about
I heard
it.
all about it on Sunday, and then I heard about it again last night when I was at the Boulevard. So, so I've heard all about it now.
I think Sam's pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go with your aces, and I got 5 of them.
Damn.
4 of them.
Now you haven't.
There's 5.
Well, hang on. We haven't mentioned the 5th guy yet.
No.
We haven't mentioned the 5th guy, and we'd be very remiss if we didn't do that. Well, tell us about Eric Paulson, our lead guitar player for the show.
Name is Eric Paulson.
I'll let Ryan talk about Eric.
Okay, go for it.
Eric Paulson, my fiance's dad.
You gotta get out because it's. There
All
you
right.
go.
My fiance's dad was in the Navy. Eric Paulson was his best friend. He's a great guy. He's a great guitarist. He's been playing ever since Tony knew him. And moved to Florida, looked for some gigs, got with the Imby Brothers.
With your dad and uncles.
Had a couple other little side projects.
What?
I don't know what.
And,
I don't know what that face was. It was funny.
And,
You made a face, so.
Eric's a great guy. He, we wanted him to come with us, and so we asked him, and he said, yeah. So here he is. He's here with us.
There you go.
And the couple of practices that we have had with him, the guy's just been phenomenal. He came in cold on Monday, not knowing any of the songs, and basically anything we threw at him, he was right there with it.
Yeah.
So he is
Phenomenal.
a professional through and through. We're very happy to have him on board for sure. I gotta embarrass my mom a little bit because your story about how you heard country music in I don't know if it's possible to embarrass my mom, but I'm gonna try.
Probably not.
Probably not. But your story about hearing country in the car, believe it or not, considering my background, because I'm a classic rock guy too, but that happened to me too. My mom was, especially in the early mid '90s when country had a big resurgence. She was Garth Brooks, Billy Ray Cyrus, Alan Jackson, anything at all. She was listening to it. She had a Garth Brooks tape. She had. She was dressing me up in all denim.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, God. And at least half of it never changed. But
You didn't have a mullet, did you?
I did not have a mullet, but at one time I did slick back my hair with gel and all this kind of stuff to try and look a little more like Billy Ray. It was embarrassing.
I had a little bit of a mullet, I have to say, at one point. I had a haircut
You're kidding.
that had kind of little curly poodle bangs in the front, and it was short on the sides and real long in the back. So it was kind of mullety, but not really.
It was the original faux hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
basically, yeah.
And the only way that my mom got away with the haircut was I was like, you can cut my hair however you want if you buy me this bottle of pink hair gel. And so she was like, okay. And then I ended up with this horrible haircut.
And pink hair gel.
And pink hair gel, exactly.
Which you were very proud of.
Exactly. I was good
I
with
got
that.
pink hair gel, but look at the hair I have to put it in.
But and you say, with your mom in the country, it's the same thing with mine. She was, my house, it was, more or older country. So it was, my mom was a big Patsy Cline fan.
Oh, there you go.
And, we listened to Hank, Senior and Junior and, George Strait and, and Tanya Tucker and all that kind of stuff when I was younger. And so,
I had to pick country music up by myself. My family hates country music.
Yeah. Really?
No, that's a lie.
Are you sure about
I was
that?
trying to see who would hold out the longest.
I was waiting to
see
see who would crack. Yes, the country band that your dad is in, and he
Yeah.
hates country music. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
What did the Wiley Fox guys have? 3, 4 records?
I thought it was just the 2, but maybe it could be.
No,
It's
there
probably
was-
more than that. I know there's 2 on CD Baby currently.
4.
There's 4 total. Okay.
But they hate country.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're only performing one of Brandon's songs.
We want to. It's
want
been
to.
discussed. It's been discussed.
discussed.
He wants us to. That's the thing. I mean, we just really
It's a
haven't
brilliant
really talked
song.
about it. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, but it's funny because so we all grew up around the country stuff, and you and I, we ended up going our separate ways. You were big prog head, I was big classic rock head,
Yeah.
and you guys were the country head. And the funny thing is too, I mean, I don't know if I would even end up playing with you guys if it wasn't for the fact that about a year ago at this time, the band Jersey Dirt asked me to fill in on a couple of bass gigs for them because they had just lost their bassist. Their bassist moved back to New Jersey or something like that. And so all of a sudden I got thrown into the country world, and I was learning all of these new country songs. You had your Eric Church and Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean, whoever else. And so I found myself having to learn that really, really quickly. And as I was learning it and getting into it and playing with Jersey Dirt and listening to how they do it, I was starting to think to myself, this stuff's really not that bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn
Yeah.
good, actually.
And you know, I mean, I followed country even afterwards. I mean, you know, you said I was, you know, I'm a big progressive rock fan, which is true. But really,
Well,
it's sort of
you dabble in
it's sort of
everything,
funny
really.
because when you look through my CD collection, it's pretty much all progressive rock, weird chick rock, and country. So that's sort of like where my interests go.
And some 2000s punk in there, too.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
true. That's true.
You've got a smattering of that.
Yep.
Well, anyway, got about maybe 10 minutes left here. If you guys have any questions out there for the Bearded Brothers, don't be afraid to call in. The number is 727-597-4022. Check us out on Facebook. Facebook.com/thesurge2 is the Facebook page, so check us out there. Like us there. We've got currently something like only 57, 58 likes, and I know more people are listening than that, so let's get that like count up a little bit.
Well,
folks.
I'm married to you, and I just liked it today. So there you go.
What the hell's up with that?
I don't know.
It's going to be an interesting ride home.
Oh,
Ha,
God.
we have separate cars.
When
This-
you get home.
Regardless, either way.
Well, let's give him one more song. What do you say?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
You want to play?
We'd have to move the mic.
Oh, right.
Just move people.
Or switch people.
Or switch people. Doesn't matter to me.
What do you want to do?
I'll come over there. I don't care.
Oh, I mean, what song do you want to do?
I have no idea. What do you want to do?
All right, here's the guitar.
We'll play the I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Here on the Surge. Hope you guys have been having a. Wait. Terry just posted up a thing. He's asking you, yeah, what is up with that, Star? Why did you just barely like us now? So he's giving you a little crap too.
Yeah, whatever. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Oh, wow, right. Oh,
I there's no excuse for me.
That's all right. It's all right. It's all right. We forgive you.
Whoa. What am I going?
You're a slightly larger man, so that's kind of tricky.
Yeah, and my hat's in the way.
But yeah, let's favor them with one more song. Anything you want, Tommy. You want to give him another original? Maybe. We have dead air, folks.
I know.
Come on, you're killing
I'm
us
thinking our
here.
phone call would come in.
Yep.
So
Somebody
handy.
call us. So that
Yeah, give us that one.
And I woke up this morning, saw you laying there. Your eyes just started twitching as I played with your hair. You opened up your eyes and you smiled at me. I just smiled back at you. 'Cause it's hard to believe that we could come so far and so fast. And I think the time is right. We can make it last. And baby, I wanna be with you for the rest of my days. But we can make it through whatever comes our way, and together forever, and just you and me. And baby, I will love and protect you with every breath I breathe. With every breath I breathe. I love the way that you kiss me, in the way that you smile. Every little detail about you makes my heart go haywire. You are my reason for living. with you I'm complete. I know that's how you come by, and it's hard to believe that we could come so far, so fast. And I know the time is right, we can make it last. Baby, I wanna be with you for the rest of my days. We can make it through whatever comes our way, and together forever, and just you and me. And baby, I will love and protect you with every breath I breathe, with every breath I breathe.
There you go.
Yes.
Little shortened version of the single edit, if you will, of
I had to shorten
of
it. That
Breathe.
was a horrible position to be in.
We'll run a little low on time. I just want to say, check out the Bearded Brothers wherever and whenever you can. They're actually going to be at Bourbon Street tonight as soon as they leave. And they're going to be hosting the ladies' night over there with Dana, Donnie, and Billy, I believe. And I'll probably stop in there and hang out with the boys for a little bit, too. And then this weekend they've got off, but then watch out for them next weekend. Friday, March 8th, they're going to be at the Seaside Inn. Saturday, March 9th, they're going to be at S&J's Pub for their big second anniversary party. That's at 4 o'clock. And then they're going to be playing, where is it in St. Pete?
American Rhythm and Brews.
American Rhythm and Brews in St. Pete at 9 o'clock or so. Then Sunday is the big Send the Boys to Texas benefit at Bourbon Street, Newport Richie. And then we're on the road that following Monday. And if you want to get a little preview of what we'll be doing at South by Southwest, you can always check out our rehearsals. They're open to the public. That's next Monday and Thursday, right around 12 o'clock or 12 p.m. So early in the day for us anyway. We'll be getting our start.
Come in during your lunch hour and have some food. They have food at Bourbon Street.
Yep.
And listen to rehearsal and then go back to work.
There you go.
Mushroom Swiss burgers off the chain.
You can also check us out on Facebook.
Facebook.com/TheBeardedBrothers is where they're at. Just a couple more things before we close out here at the Surge. If you want to check out more stuff about live music, hop onto my blog at Newport Richie Patch. Just look for My Ugly Mug and you'll find it somewhere out there. Or you can also check out gotonight.com for just anywhere in the Tampa Bay area. My blog focuses on Newport Richie specifically and the entire West Pasco area, but gotonight.com covers everywhere from friggin' Crystal River down to Sarasota. So check that out for all your live music needs. Be sure to tune in next week. Terry will be back, I will be back, and we will be rocking it here on The Surge. We're very glad you could listen to us, and I think we're going to take it out now. Will, you over there? You ready to go? We're going to close it out with the outro. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you so much
you
to the
for
Bearded
having
Brothers.
us.
We'll see you next week, guys. I'd call that a success.
Thanks for tuning in this week at Rock Slam Radio. Checking out The Surge with Tim Cronin and Terry Tull. Don't forget to check them out next week,
out there, but not
Thursday
quite.
nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard
No,
Time.
Mike finally did,
And without a
but I
doubt,
was gonna-
radio worth
Did you?
watching. Oh, yeah. Thanks for tuning in this week at Rock Slam.
The west central coast of Florida has an amazing music scene. Festivals, clubs, special performances, and there's always a lot of live music. The problem has always been getting the word out about events. Then GoTonight.com emerged on the scene. The brainstorm creation of founder Don McKeon, a Sarasota entrepreneur. We caught up with Don and his inspirational friend, Frank Papa, at the Flying Dog Cafe.
This is Frank. I'm Don. Frank is the reason that there is a GoTonight.com. he would call me. He would call me repeatedly.
Where are we going? Where do you want to go? Where will we go tonight?
The website has been a boon to many small clubs. So next time you find yourself asking, where will we go tonight? You've got the answer.